Hello, welcome back to Gregor Creations. Today's video is going to be an update on the park and the progress of the park. And we're going to be looking at Fantasyland. We're going to get back and look at the new Cars Land area. Going to tell you about that. And it's a little bit messy up here. And let's talk about why it's a little bit messy. As you can see here, I've got a castle here. That is the castle I'm going to be using for Villains Land. So that's still up here for now. I'll show you where I'm going to be putting that for storage until we get to the point where we get some better concept art for that. But that's the castle I'm going to be using. And we're going to use that to complete that big mountain-like castle complex they're making in the Villains Land there. So I'm just waiting a little longer because we're going to go back also and see the Cars Land where I started with the concept art and they changed the concept art. So I'm going to wait a little bit. We're going to go back and take a look at that. But I'm going to wait a little bit before I start working on that. So for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've been doing. Recently we got the Barnstormer going. And that is right here in Fantasyland. And what I've started to do is to like change over Fantasyland a little bit because we're kind of updating that as we go here. So I did take down the Skyway from the past. Okay, so that's out of there. I did leave Miss Piggy there in the middle, right in front of Filler Magic. I'm gonna leave her there for a while. It's a cool build. But I did change out the tent for the Dumbo ride there. So you can kind of see I've got a little upgraded tent there for that ride. I kind of shifted that over a little bit. We've got to work on the Winnie the Pooh ride a little bit. We're going to use do that in a later date. But what I'm working on here is getting the groundwork all around here. We are going to eventually be doing something with the Tomorrowland Speedway, so stay tuned for that. There's a special element coming for that, I hope, and you guys are going to be pretty excited about that. But we'll talk about that in the future here. What I'm trying to do right now is work on that back corner. So we got the Barnstormer here. I'm going to be putting the entrance sign right about there. It's a little off because of the space. I'm running out of space again, but because the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is so big there, we're going to be putting that sign to Circus Book in that area there, which is a little further than it is out, but we've had to shift this a little bit because of the size of just really the space crunch. Okay, the space crunch I'm having. I'm going to get back under here, and today I'm going to show you guys this painstakingly way I'm getting around in the park here. So we're going to drop right down here, and we got to go through underneath here, and then we've got to come up here. And I'm getting old, so that's a little bit troublesome sometimes. So this is where I'm working back right here. I will tell you this, I've got the plans to make the backside of the Snow White cottage there. So that is going to be completed because I don't want, it's a dollhouse like right now. I've got also this area here, that the mountain range there, where you go into the where the dwarfs are down there getting the crystals and that. I've got to do the back of that, but I also have the back planned for the back of that, the cottage there. So I'll be working on that here soon. And what I've done back here, I've got the circus tents. I've had to get smaller ones. There were some bigger ones that I had seen, but I've gotten these smaller ones because of the space back here. And I kind of upgraded on the Little Mermaid. And I've got some spires, some towers back there. We've got some rock work I've started working on there too, but I've got to get that seamed together there a little bit. But you can see Ariel there. I think I'm going to use that for the thumbnail for this video anyway. So we'll be, you probably have already seen that then if you're watching the video right now. And then we've got, like I said, Belle's Castle there. And I know it's bigger than the one they have in the park in relationship to the area, but since they made that cool set, I just used that for the top of that, and you guys can see that area there. And so I've also got I've got this piece here to use as the train station. So I have the train coming around here, and I've got this piece here, and I'm using that as the train set, or the train station here in Fantasyland. So I've got a lot of work to do down here, build up the land here. We've got a couple park benches in there, but I got to build up the land right there. That's why that void is here. And then get this greenery, build this out, and then we'll get the train going too. And I've got to get this covered here. And then I've really got to work on getting the Tron entrance. I've got that all messed up right now, but I'll be getting that as well soon here. So I'm going to eventually probably put down this area here. I'll probably put a little bit of the parade route there, because I've still got that on Main Street over there. And I'm going to be getting that off of Main Street because I want to get the trolley back out there. And so we're going to need some spaces where we get, I like to have everything in the park. So we're going to get those floats in some of these areas here. So it has cleared out a little bit with getting the Skyway out of there. That's going to be, part of the build here too, is to get Gustan's. I like the breakfast area there. I want to get that right where I have that fountain right there. I got to get his statue in there. So that's something I'm looking at doing as well. And then getting lighting for this, finish up Frill and Magic there, and kind of, getting the tile work down. I've got a little bit of tile work right here. The walkthrough from behind the Barnstormer. So got to get a lot more treeage too. So we're going to get some more trees to make it a little more authentic there. But that's kind of how we're sitting here in Fantasyland. So it's looking better, but there's some loose ends I've obviously got to attend to there. So let's jump over now. I'm going to get over into the area of where the Cars Land new attraction is going to be taking place. So we're going to move under here. As you can see here, as I come up, I've got space back here. So actually this table here is what I'm going to be putting the Villains Land on. So the clouds, I can move that back. I can pull it back this way because I got room back here. So that's something that I will do. And as we go through here, how else are we going to get through here? So we're going to get underneath the table here. Again, this is one of the areas here where we can get up into work on the Haunted Mansion and that, and Liberty Square. But we're going to get all the way over here and hop up in Frontierland, or Mos Eisley's space station. No, just got that there still as a little bit of a IP shout out there. But we're over here next to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. As you can see here, somebody wanted to give me get some close-ups of this, so I kind of forgot about that in the last video. So here are some close-ups of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We're going to get a little more greenery on that, but that's doing pretty well. I think it looks great. That was a great ride. Went on that this summer. That was pretty good. And this is what the current state of my Cars Land remodel is. And again, this was based on the first concept art. So if you look at that concept art, this is pretty spot on, but they've changed it a little bit. So it looks like that mountain there is going to be brought over to this area here, and it's going to be in front of the docking station for the steamboat to kind of block Liberty Square from the area of Frontierland. So they don't want to hear you to hear the sounds and sights of a different land while you're in one of the other lands. So we're going to have to move that. And then there's also, with a new picture, there is much more water all the way around. So what I'm going to have to do, and I made that sidewalk pretty big there, so I am going to be adding water all the way around this and changing, you know, a lot of the track work there, even though I think it turned out really good for the art that they had. So I was pretty excited about that. Here's a queue area here. This is going to be moved a little bit to about like right where this this bridge is right now. And that bridge is scaled down a little bit and moved away from there. So it does come around, and where I'm standing is going to be where the ride is too. I've already created the geyser. So there's a large geyser. So I've created a large geyser here. I've got some other rock work that I'm going to use. It's a little messy back here because I've got to build up this area to kind of morph right into Big Thunder Mountain here. Okay, and then we've obviously got some exposed area here. Again, that's where this is going to be built out, and we're going to have Villains Land build back into this area here. Okay, so I'm just not doing it until I get some more you know, I got to get some kind of conclusive concept art before I start, because this one I thought turned out really well. I was pretty excited about this. But it'll be easy to move around, and it's fun to do that. So I'll be doing that here soon. But I'm going to wait a little bit until they get some construction going too, because they might do the old switcheroo on me again. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. If you guys, again, if you know anybody that likes Lego or Disney, send my my site to them. Also catch us on Instagram and TikTok. But that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Here we're looking back into Fantasyland there. You can see the train station that I have over there. And back towards Main Street. I guess a couple of fireworks in the way there. And until next time, guys, we will see you soon. Like, subscribe, give me some comments. Tell me what you think. See you soon. Bye-bye.